All right, in real estate, realtors like to use jargon and different sayings, whether in listing descriptions or looking at houses with you. And so I kind of want to go through a list, and I'll ask Andy if he can kind of just explain them. Some will be funny, and some I think it's good to just explain kind of what we mean. And I hate saying we because I try not to use a lot of these sayings, but ultimately some of them I do. And so let's just try to translate them into layman's terms, if possible. Okay, so common realtor sayings. This house is a handyman special.
Uh-oh.
That's a good answer.
Prepare yourself. It's going to need a lot of work.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's, sometimes realtors like to downplay how much work is needed. Because ultimately they're trying to represent their seller the best that they can. And so instead of saying you need to have a full remodel, they say handyman special, you can slowly do stuff over time.
Right, and generally it means they do not have it priced appropriately.
That's a good point as well. And that leads right into the next one, priced to sell.
Uh-oh. No, I'm kidding. Well, you can have high expectations that they're on point with that, but many times I find when they have to say that, it's generally not priced appropriately for the condition.
Agreed. And the way that you can find that out is hire a good realtor who's going to call the other realtor and ask how many offers there are. And if you've seen a house that's on market for 45 days and it says price to sell, I think that tells you everything you need to know about the price.
It could imply some level of motivation beyond the actual price. Right? It could be not necessarily priced to sell, but the seller may be motivated to get there. And so that's not a bad thing too. But I think it's a good time to point out, since you mentioned days on market, I think the biggest thing for folks is they see 40, 60 days on market, or even beyond 30, and they're like, what's wrong with the house? And many times there's nothing wrong with the house, it's just price.
Price and sometimes presentation, but price is ultimately always the deciding factor. And marketing can overcome some of that price, but it just ultimately what it trades for, the market decides. Intimate.
Small,
cozy.
Right. That's a polite way of saying that most people have said it's too small.
Right. Love it. Great potential.
Take it at face value. It's probably, they're avoiding using the term fixer-upper or handyman special, but it has great bones, it has great flow, it has a lot of potential. It just needs a little
and
TLC.
I think some realtors just throw that word around. Great potential, that's very location, floor plan specific. We talk about the things in Albuquerque, the location matters so much. Single story, usually better than 2-story, semi-open floor plan. Those are the things that, or those are the houses that have great potential. Selling as is.
I think that's tossed around a lot for no particular reason, because in general, everything is sold as is. But there may be some issues there. They don't want to address specifically, so they're just kind of giving you a broad.
And I would say when I talk with buyers and they see something, they ask me, well, what does that mean? Like, does that mean they're not going to make any repairs? And I go, that means that the seller at this time is saying they don't want to make repairs. So you have two options. In your offer it with a credit or a price reduction so that you can take care of the repairs, or just negotiate it later. Right? It's a bit of a risk negotiating it later, but ultimately at the end of the day, they want to sell, you want to buy. If there are items that need to be repaired or a credit you need to get to closing, you can always ask for it. If they don't give it, then you can decide move on or buy anyways.
Isn't the contract structured though as is? It doesn't override your ability to inspect or ask for repairs or get allowances, but fundamentally it's an as-is transaction.
The seller's only responsibility is when you do your final walkthrough that it looks like it did when you walked in originally.
By your personal observation.
Yeah, gotcha. The repairs are a separate negotiation in the process. And you have the right to do that within the contingencies of the contract. But
I think it kind of scares buyers off when a broker just puts that out there in the remarks.
Absolutely.
It seems unnecessary.
So unnecessary.
Yeah.
If that is your seller's intention, you can explain that verbally between people, or just when it comes to, the buyer asking for repairs.
In your response.
You say no.
Yeah, you say no.
I'm not going to do it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, sometimes setting that expectation early is, in my opinion, unwise. Motivated seller.
Used a lot, and it could be a reliable statement, but many times it doesn't align with the pricing or things, but it's something to explore. If they're saying that, then you want to explore that by either your offer being lower than asking or whatever the circumstances are.
I think it's motivated seller is always a funny one because it's actions speak louder than words.
Exactly.
If you're a motivated seller, you should reduce the price. That's probably your issue if you're having to say I'm a motivated seller. And as a person who represents buyers, if I see that verbally, but I don't see price reduction action. Now, if I see price reduction action and that verbiage
together,
awesome.
But price is ultimately more powerful than the adjectives that you attach to it. Actions speak
louder than words. Bring your best and final offer. I'll explain so I think this is a situation where where a house is underpriced or is highly desirable and they already have a couple of offers.
Oh, I see what you're saying. They add that to it after they see the interest.
I don't want to see you go back and forth. We have a couple offers. You just need to come up with your highest and best offer. If you want to win this house, come in at what you're willing to pay.
But most of the time, those are in private remarks where the public don't see those remarks on Zillow or whatever.
Sometimes, sometimes brokers
they're right
put it
there
out
in there.
Right?
Yeah.
And also, if you have a broker that isn't able to explain some of these terms to you, I'm going to stop talking right there.
So what are some of I don't know if this is a good topic for this segment, but there are some things that you can't say in public remarks. Right,
well,
aren't there?
There are some fair housing stuff, certainly.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Like instead of saying there's walking trails nearby, you have to say nature paths.
Oh, you can't say walking trails.
You're not supposed to, right? Because
you're not to say near the Christian church or near the synagogue or down the street from the...
Right. And in the state of New Mexico, you are not required to say if someone has died in the house.
Oh, yeah. Right. You wouldn't want to do that. Yeah.
But in terms of what you're not supposed to say, there's a whole list of things and you can kind of agree with them or not. But I think ultimately at the end of the day, sometimes as we go through this list, there are things that brokers say that ultimately at the end of the day hurt their seller. And that's what we always try to avoid, or just the words that will put them in a bad position, whether that's fair housing or whatever.
What about, I think you had some other ones that you were going to go over, like...
Oh, I got a lot of them.
Oh, you still haven't gotten to them all.
Oh, yeah, we're still going.
Oh, it's a test. It's a pop quiz, folks.
You'll like this one.
Okay, good.
And this gets into
I want some good ones.
This gets into things that you're not supposed to say. Up-and-coming neighborhood.
Up-and-coming neighborhood.
What? Just for that
kind of like
last
a transition.
Point. You're not supposed to say it is a family neighborhood.
Oh, no, you can't use the word familia or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So up-and-coming, like transitional?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that just means you're probably going to have a gay neighbor because, the gays always move into the neighborhood. They're the ones that discover it. And then once that transition starts happening...
They gentrify?
Well, it becomes a gentrified neighborhood, but they're always the pioneers. They're always the first in.
They like to go right on the edge and then make it cool.
Yeah. And then, so if it's transitional or up and coming, you're going to have a gay neighbor. And, that's usually is what other neighbors get excited about if they've already purchased. Oh, a gay family just moved in. That's always a good sign that you've made the right decision.
I don't know if we're allowed to say that per se.
Yeah, I think we are. Because I don't think sexual orientation is one of the...
It's funny, too, because sexual orientation certainly is. But to your point, a lot of these neighborhoods, up-and-coming neighborhoods, become the art districts. And who is leading that charge into that sort
Exactly. Yeah.
The rail yards or they become this haven for art and bars and fun.
Well, before sexual orientation was a federally protected class, since I'm so old, back in the 90s, we were at the parade and the contingent of gay, we called them agents, we call them brokers here, the contingent of brokers were marching and they had a big banner and it said, "Give us our rights or we will restore your neighborhood." And I think that just says it all.
Oh, that's crazy.
And everybody gets excited in a transitional neighborhood when...
Sure. Well, yeah, that's where you feel you can make a really good investment, right? Up and coming. It's, that's the, we talk about like places like Mesa del Sol, the areas in Albuquerque where new construction is happening right now, Rio Rancho, they feel like things are being built around and it's moving in the direction.
Yeah. Don't you think?
Well, yeah, I think there's two ways to look at up and coming. There's the neighborhood that needs, it's an older neighborhood, houses are a little run down, but it's in the hub of the city. There's energy.
Right, it has a little ghetto feel to it that's now changing to be kind of fashionable.
But I've heard people say Mesa del Sol, Rio Rancho are up and coming areas for 20 years.
Yeah.
It's up and coming.
Well, I
Get
think,
in early.
Yeah, that west side has become more popular.
Sure.
Yeah.
More restaurants, more bars, more things to do.
And Bernalillo, that whole section through there didn't even exist. It was just one 2-lane road.
Yeah. Okay, how about established neighborhood?
That means more expensive. Right off the cuff, I would relate. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mature Trees, not older neighborhood, but it's been there for a while and usually desirable.
Desirable.
And along with that, mature landscaping. I think that's pretty obvious. The trees are grown. They're not brand new. It's not a brand new neighborhood. It's been there for 20 years, 30 years. Okay. Jack and Jill bath.
That is a good floor plan for kids.
Yeah. Entrance from bedroom on each side.
Yeah, and they share
a bathroom.
Yeah.
The Jack and Jill bathrooms that I've really noticed becoming popular lately are you enter and you have your own little like sink.
Yes, and your own toilet.
And then in the middle there's a shower. No contingencies.
Well, that contingency is kind of a broad term. It can cover many things, but I would, it begs questions. The first question is, what kind of contingency? Financing, inspection, there's a whole...
To me, it says as is, but in a more complicated way, and...
Have your ducks in a row.
More confusing.
Well, look at your offer if your ducks are in a row.
Right.
You're approved, you're ready to go.
And that's where, again, a good realtor calls the agent and says, what exactly are you getting at here?
Yeah, it's a little
because
weird.
Ultimately, no contingencies. You need that title commitment contingency, the HOA contingency, the survey contingency.
Might even imply they want only cash.
Totally.
Yeah.
Let's see. Move-in ready. It's pretty obvious. Usually new construction or
turnkey or...
Turnkey. Yeah. Maybe has fresh paint.
Right.
Well, the way that I see move-in ready being used or turnkey a lot are homes that they just slap some fresh paint on the wall and it still has old carpet and old wood paneling, but it's move-in ready.
Oh, you even think it has the old carpet and paneling? Well, one person's turnkey is not another's.
Exactly,
so
but I think realtors try to use that as a way to market it in a positive direction.
Right.
It's been well maintained. It's in great condition. It's move-in ready. Well, it's very ugly.
Right.
But it is move-in ready. I could move right in, but I'd rather die than live there.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of some of these terms.
That's why I want to talk about them, because a lot of people are using them, right? And our job is to try to show, or I think the goal of this video is to try to show some of the viewers some of the little tips and tricks that agents use and why you need someone in your corner that...
Just superficially, or maybe not directly, some of those terms scream to me that the listing broker is very inexperienced. Maybe only in the business 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, or they used those terms 20 years ago, 30 years ago before the internet, and it was, maybe a bit more effective because you could get them out to the house just on the little Realtor book.
Yeah, you didn't have as many images and photos.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, the old saying.
You gotta fly. Catch it like Obama. Oh, dang, that would have been good for the video.
Picture speaks 1,000 words, as they say.
Absolutely. All offers considered. I think that's pretty obvious. They're usually overpriced.
Desperate.
Desperate. Love that. Any other terms that you can think of?
You have a lot of them on that list.
I think we did quite a bit. Oh, carpet allowance.
Oh, smelly, dirty. Yeah.
Usually pet soiled carpet.
I've never understood the allowance advertisement. Say 5,000 or 2,000, just take it off the price.
Right.
That gets telegraphed to everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah, the price is very powerful.
I think with all of this stuff, it just shows you the three things that matter the most. Price, quality of the house. Well, four. Price, location, quality of the house, presentation. Those are the big four factors. If you see any of this other stuff, it is a realtor that's trying to make one of the four pillars look better than it probably is.
Yeah, you can't jawbone someone into liking something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, something like, and I say this in my description sometimes, bright and airy. That's just a description of a space.
Right.
Like this room is bright and airy. I think that's a positive. There's, I think, a difference between selling as is and describing something. So just keep an eye on some of those words. And honestly, I don't even know if buyers look at, listing descriptions anymore anyways. Because I'll write something in the description and they'll call me and they'll say,
ask the same question.
yeah, I'm like, oh, I wrote it down, which is totally cool. But I think photos and videos have become such a prominent piece of marketing that, like, even at Zillow, it's like the description is this small and you got all this photo and information to look at. So
yeah, I think you have to upgrade you have to have a special Zillow as a broker subscription to get the added. You can.
Information.
I mean, if you want to go a big old giant paragraph. But you're right. People are visual. People love floor plans.
Love floor
and
plans.
It's kind of interesting how few brokers put floor plans in.
Yeah. For me, it depends on the house and the situation. Because sometimes putting the floor plan can hurt you because maybe the floor plan, the square footage isn't large, but in person it feels.
Oh, I agree. That's the biggest mistake buyers make. They put an arbitrary, I want at least 1,500 or at least 2,000.
Crazy.
And they'll rule out, if they put 1,500, they'll rule out 1,350 or 1,400. And if you go there, sometimes you just feel so
I've
different.
seen 1,200 square foot houses that feel like 1,800.
Yeah.
And the opposite direction, 1,800 square foot houses that are the floor plan just, ugh.
I've routinely had listings in my past career where the house is quite small, but when you go there, it has a big house feel. And I would put in the remarks, the biggest little house in Texas.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. See, that's where you start describing, and I think that's the standard that should be set in the industry, but we're not in charge of that. All right. Anything else you'd like to add before we sign off, Andy?
Here at Tradition, our goal is to help you achieve your dream of home ownership, and we never measure a client by their budget.
Awesome. Well, you'll see you on the next one. Thank you.